How's it going out there, music maker? My name's Hayes Griffin, and in this 10-minute challenge video, we're going to show you how to spice up a basic bass strum bluegrass rhythm pattern with some upstrokes to kind of give you a fuller, more active rhythm sound in the right hand. Before we go ahead and dive in though, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and the bell notification button. That way you'll get notifications whenever we upload a new video here to Mandolin Secrets. We've got our weekly flat pick content coming out as well as mandolin content, so you won't want to miss out on that. Also, if you're interested in a more enhanced learning experience with things like PDFs of the sheet music and tablature for all of our lessons, as well as backing tracks and play-along tracks, and access to our community of flat pickers just like you, check that link below to the Mandolin Secrets Guitar Club. There you'll find more information for how to sign up. All right, my friend, let's go ahead and dive into this right-hand rhythmic pattern. Before we talk about the specific rhythmic pattern that we want to play, though, I just want to kind of break down the anatomy of bluegrass and old-time rhythm guitar playing. The kind of basic pattern that we play in this style of music is what's called a bass strum pattern. Today we're going to be using the chords to the tune Angeline the Baker as a bit of a backdrop for this exercise because it's only got a D chord and a G chord in it. So we can kind of simplify the left hand to focus on our right hand work. So if we were to do a basic bass strum pattern on our D chord for this tune, it would sound something like this. You can get by with this pattern really for your entire career if you want to. The purpose of this pattern is to provide a really solid rhythmic foundation for your bandmates so that each beat is clearly denoted, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In bluegrass styles, if you listen to a lot of the early Bill Monroe recordings, Flatt and Scruggs, etc., the rhythm guitar parts on there are a little more active than just a bass strum pattern like I demonstrated there. They typically sound more like this. So aside from some of those bass run notes that I was throwing in there, if you really pay attention to the right hand, the difference between what I was playing in the basic bass strum and this kind of more bluegrassier version of the rhythm is upstrokes. You'll notice that I'm adding upstrokes most often on the offbeats of beat 2 and 4, but sometimes on the offbeat of beat 1 and 3 as well. There's no real science to how people do this, but there are some best practices that we're going to talk about here before we dive into our exercise to kind of show you how to maybe appropriately play this style of rhythm when you're with a bluegrass band. So if you're familiar with the chord changes to Angeline the Baker, we've just got 3 bars of D, 1 bar of G, and then 4 bars of D. And that whole pattern repeats for the A part and the B part. So all you have to remember is 3 Ds, 1 G, 4 Ds. And repeat. So just to review, let's do a basic bass strum pattern together here, and then I'll show you how to add some up strums on beats 2 and 4 to spice up your rhythm, and then I've got one more trick reserved for the end that'll kind of tie the whole thing together. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Back to D. Top of the tune is here. G chord. In order to add some more right hand activity, we're going to pick out beats 2 and 4, Instead of just playing one strum as a quarter note on those beats, we're going to do two strums, a down-up strum as eighth notes. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, ready, go. Now that you have a good idea of how to add those up strums on beats 2 and 4, I'm going to show you one more technique in case you're left wanting more to spice up your bluegrass rhythm guitar playing. The last thing that I'm going to show you is what I like to call the Bumachika pattern. So if we think about how the bass strum pattern evolves through these variations that I've given you here, we could think of the regular bass drum as boom, chick, right? And then the variation I showed you could be boom, chicka, right? But one thing that I like to do every couple of bars in my playing, just to kind of push the momentum forward into the next bar, is add a quick Bumachika at the end of every second bar. So did you notice that? Every second bar, like I said, on the last beat of that measure, I went boom-a-chicka, down, up. So I'm picking a single note, my bass note, doing an eighth note up strum, eighth note down strum, eighth note up strum, to kind of take those last two beats of the measure and fill them out with eighth notes as opposed to just phrasing them as boom chicka. The reason I like to do this, like I said, is it adds a bit of forward momentum to push us into that third bar or fifth bar, whichever kind of bar you're looking at in the form to this tune. And it's a good way to signal when phrases are kind of ending or beginning, because typically every 2 or 4 bars the fiddle tune phrase is going to repeat or kind of reach a resting point. And if you can do something in your rhythm playing to kind of let people know that that is one of those resting points or phrase endings, your bandmates are more likely to kind of remember where they're headed next, etc. So let's see if we can add that Bumachika on the third beat of every second measure here. We're going to keep it at 100 beats per minute and go ahead and dive in. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, Music Maker, that is it for this 10-minute challenge video. I really hope that you find some value in those kind of right-hand variations for your bass strum pattern. To me, it's really essential to kind of have the ability to vary that pattern based upon what musical situation you're in. So I would urge you to take these Bumachika patterns, and the regular bass strum and just kind of mix and match how you like to see them. I've given you a really straightforward example here of how players might typically execute this, but really there is no kind of set in stone pattern for how to add these bumchikas and bumachikas to your rhythm playing. Feel free to master all of those cells on their own and start to recombine them in new and different ways. That's how all of our heroes did it, so you'll learn a lot by kind of taking that approach. Alright my friend, thanks so much for checking this video out. Leave us a comment below and let us know if this kind of bumchika and bumachika right hand pattern is useful to you in your own rhythm playing. Would really love to hear that. Thanks so much for checking this video out though my friend. We'll catch you in the next one.